Well, as per usual, we have a full show for you, and let's just dive right into it. Well, International Women's Day is fast approaching, and we have the chief plotter and co-founder to tell us all about it, Ms. Gillian Wall. Welcome.
Good morning. Well, thank you, Verna.
Now, you have a week of activities planned in commemoration of Women's Day and so much to tell us about. So, before further ado, when exactly is International Women's Day? Do we celebrate it, or do we celebrate our women as we ought to?
Okay, yes. The International Women's Day is on March 8th annually, and it is a day that across the globe, women's groups, feminists, advocates for women's rights all across the world get together and press for progress. That's this year's theme. We seek to heighten the plight of women across the globe, highlight women's issues, opportunities for further growth and empowerment of women. And the week of activities is actually being hosted by the Interclub. The Interclub of Trinidad and Tobago have brought together a host of partners, and partnering on this year's activities are the powerful ladies of TNT. So we're hosting one of the days from March 5th to March 9th. There are a week of activities. Other partners include UEIGDS, the High Commission of Canada, the Port of Spain City Corporation, Guardian Media. There are a host of partners on that week of activities, and over 20 women's groups actually collaborating on that week of activities. So on Monday, the theme will be gender justice. On Tuesday, March 6th, promotion of gender equality. And March 7th, women's empowerment. There's actually a women's city village and City Hall Marketplace. The events take place at different locations, UE, at the waterfront, the Hyatt, City Hall. The High Commission of Canada is on Thursday. They're hosting, and the High Commission is hosting a coffee and conversation on that day. And on Friday, we close off bringing it all together. The powerful ladies of Trinidad and Tobago are hosting Achieving Gender Security, and a women's forum that will do an entire week in review. So we have 3 main speakers on that day, plus myself. We have Angela Leloy that will be speaking on Caribbean security, the outcomes of a forum that we held last year looking at citizen security. And we have Gabrielle Hussein speaking on gender equity budgeting. Terry Ince, who is going to be joining me this morning, but she fell ill. Terry Ince will be speaking on the Convention for the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and the collaboration that's taking place locally under the committee, the CEDAW Committee of Trinidad and Tobago. And we will have IGDS students who've been collaborating throughout the week as well, doing an entire week in review, looking at all of the activities and ensuring there's solid outcomes coming out of the entire week from all of the partners. And I will close off by speaking about the establishment of a real women's forum for continued collaboration across TNT. So this is about renewed focus and continuing to press for progress and highlighting the issues of women. A country that takes care of its women and children takes care of its future. And we want to continue to ensure this level of collaboration takes place. So we really commend, this was under the stewardship of Jan Ryan, who's the current president of the Interclub. And I think it's a wonderful initiative. The Interclub hosts a tea annually, and that tea actually takes place on the Wednesday. That tea actually takes place on the Tuesday, on the 6th. The 17th, that will be the 17th annual tea on the Tuesday. But this year, what they've done is brought together a host of partners and many women's groups. So this will actually be the largest collaboration that has ever taken place for International Women's Day, an entire week of activities. And IGDS are coordinating a phenomenal march on the Saturday as well. So we have a week of powerful discussion and brainstorming towards solid solutions, sustainable solutions for women's issues, and an empowering march at the end of it. So the partners have really done a wonderful job.
So who is expected to be at the formal opening? Anybody special we can look forward to?
Oh, yes. At the formal opening, our patron is Sharon Rowley. So Mrs. Sharon Rowley, wife of the Honorable Prime Minister, will be one of the speakers in opening the entire week of activities. We will have, that day focuses on gender justice. That day will be up at the auditorium, School of Education Auditorium in UE. We also have the Minister of Gender and Child Affairs out of Honorable Ayanna Webster Roy, and that's the Office of the Prime Minister will be hosting that. And as mentioned, we have the High Commissioner is also one of the speakers. It's a powerful, powerful week. You can find out more if you go to Facebook on the respective partners' pages, but IGDS have actually established a page, International Women's Day, that allows you to see this entire week of activities as well as all of the events happening all across TNT. It's, as I said, it's very exciting, this International Women's Day. A lot of the momentum that's been taking place across the globe with the Me Too campaign and Time's Up campaign. So what we're seeing is a level of collaboration that's encouraging, empowering, exciting, and we're really looking forward to a wonderful week. So you can check out Facebook for International Women's Day to find out all of the week of activities. And on our closing event, if there are any day that you members who are interested can't make, on the Friday is the closing event. Powerful, it starts from 2 p.m. and runs to 5. That brings the entire week together. And then we go into a wonderful closing reception as well, where we would have some key acknowledgements that take place. That goes from 5 to 9. So you can email PLOTT, P-L-O-T-T 2011, that's PLOTT 2011, at gmail.com for information, and also contact us at 623-6005 or 489-1638.
Now, you mentioned that students are expected to attend. Who are the other people that are invited to this particular event, and what role do you see this playing?
Okay, well, each partner compiled a comprehensive guest list to ensure that we touch individuals at all levels of society. So you will have participating, of course, students of IGDS, which is the Institute for Gender and Development Studies. You will have secondary schools. You will have individuals from across public and private sector, a wide range of individuals across civil society. Each partner has invited a wide cross-section. So, for example, Gia Gaspard-Taylor, who heads Rural Women of Enterprise for Trinidad and Tobago. What you've got on the marketplace addressing women's issues in rural communities. You've got a wide cross-section of women from all across the Trinidad and Tobago in the rural communities, looking at how do we continue to engage, inspire, and empower our women across TNT. The outcomes that we want, of course, is contribution from all of the partners' discussions. What you would have is we have identified very specific themes, and internationally, of course, the UN has consistently been looking at issues of gender, peace, and security. We're looking at how the issues that women face and the impact it has on the economy as well, the impact it has on security, the impact it has on sustainability, the impact it has on crime. The discussions, there are panel discussions throughout the week, solutions being discussed and developed. We also get an opportunity to have all of the stakeholders provide us with feedback on the progress of their initiatives, so that we're also reminded it's not that nothing is happening. There's a lot being done within the Office of Prime Minister. There's a lot being done across civil society, looking at institutional and legislative reform. So we have solid discussions on that. And again, what's so important is the coming together. And as I said, this is the largest collaboration for any International Women's Day. Many women's groups have had events. Many stakeholders, private sector organizations have had events annually across for International Women's Day. But what Interclub has done here is actually brought many of those stakeholders that would have had individual events towards a comprehensive, powerful week of activities, tying it all in. So the closing day, we're really looking at all of the outcomes that would have come. And of course, continuing to press for progress. If not now, when? The time is now.
Now, you mentioned the Me Too movement in the U.S. I would like to get your thoughts on that movement and whether you think it's necessary, not just now, but probably in the future, to have someone from that movement come into Trinidad and probably chat with us.
I think that's a wonderful idea. We do have a lot of very solid advocates here in TNT as well. What the Me Too campaign has highlighted for women is just the power of when women collaborate, when we come together. Many of the individuals who've suffered or been victims of some form of violence, whether it be sexual harassment or rape or any sort of attack against the woman, in the past very often felt alone. What the Me Too campaign has reminded individuals is that acts of violence against women, there's no discrimination against whether it's a wealthy person, a struggling individual, their age, means in terms of what disability. It doesn't make a difference what walk of life you come from. Women across the globe are subject to violence. But when our voices come together, we give each other courage, and it's a conversation that needs to be had. What the Me Too campaign has highlighted is just how prevalent sexual harassment has been in the corporate sector by some very significant players and the corporate bullying that takes place for women. So I think it's very important. I think we've seen examples of that right here. And I also say hats off to a gentleman who continues to also advocate for women and to address the issues with regards to sexual harassment. So shout out to Kirk Waite. We fight a lot when we speak, but he has championed a lot of the initiatives there with regards to the very prominent sexual harassment case that we have here. So yes, the time is now. It's an opportunity for us to collaborate and speak up and give each other courage and strength where we tend not to exercise it as much if we believe we're alone. And this, what the Me Too campaign has highlighted across the globe, and we also saw it locally and regionally as well with the Life in Leggings campaign. It's what's possible when women come together. And this International Women's Day is calling women across TNT to come together. We're one. And that's a message throughout, even if you followed all the hype around Black Panther as well. The message of a lot of these movies, a lot of these campaigns, it's all about coming together, what's possible when we move as one tribe, whether that one tribe is women across the globe, whether one tribe is an ethnic group that's been consistently subject to violence and discrimination. We're far more powerful when we're together. We're stronger together. So again, let's press for progress together. The time is now. What are your plans for International Women's Day? I get to ask you some questions as a beautiful woman as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that conversation would really, really help in terms of empowering women. And then it leads me to my other question. Do you think as a result of all the work that PLOTT has been engaged in and the collaborations and the campaigns, do you think that women are now more empowered? Do you think it's having an impact in terms of violence against women? Are they speaking out? Are they more empowered?
I would say definitely. In Trinidad and Tobago, the patriarchy abounds, right? At all sectors, at all levels, from the highest levels and across sector, we see it. But I do think the constant interacting with all of the women's groups, all of the initiatives, has contributed to a lot of powerful conversations, and also women across TNT becoming more aware of the support that's available to them. In the past, I think the lack of awareness very often got a lot of women feeling alone. So, for example, when we kept doing the crime analysis and sharing the varied bodies that you could reach out to for support, highlighting the work of the witness and the victim and witness support unit, highlighting the work of Families in Action. The Coalition Against Domestic Violence is also in the process of renewing their focus, their drive, and you see succession taking place there as well. When we think domestic violence in Trinidad and Tobago, we think of Diana Mahavir Wyatt. She's been doing a wonderful job right now in ensuring that the coalition continues beyond her existence. And so the current head is Roberta Clark. The work that Terry Ince is doing, the work that Gia is doing across the community, the work that Hazel Brown has done for many decades. There's a lot of collaboration taking place right now. And I think with the women's issues and the push for gender justice being at the forefront of the media so very often, I think it has contributed a lot to women speaking up. You probably would have seen more and more women utilizing social media as well, where even children, where they believe that there wasn't anyone that they can speak to, but they're more empowered now to tell their story. And by posting photographs of abuse, or if there's any concern that their case or their issue may not have been addressed on a timely basis or their lives are at risk, they're reaching out, and we're seeing more and more of that. So we're asking across TNT, wherever you're at, if you see something, say something. That's the key. All right, we've been doing a lot of that through our collaboration also with CSAFE and TTPS, highlighting issues of and tips to address domestic violence as well through that safety app. That's what we've got to keep doing, and remind employers you play a role as well in ensuring that the right conversations that are had, that understanding that at times within the workplace you have both the victim and you have the aggressor within the workplace as well, because many of them work somewhere. So as we continue to have conversations and help people understand what constitutes an act of violence, what constitutes an act of discrimination against a woman, and the impact that has, not just on the woman themselves, on society, the generational impact. It's time. We've got to stop it. I actually want to take an opportunity also to give a shout out also to Asiya Muhammad. She has a very powerful TED Talk on society's role in actually intervening on a timely basis, and the impact that we can have in withdrawing the continued negative impact of domestic violence. And Asiya is the head of Conflict Women, and her TED Talk is on that, the multiplier effect, and why it's time for us to apply the withdrawal effect. So there are a lot of powerful women in TNT at all levels of society, and I think this week of activities, or I should say I knew this week of activities from March 5th to March 9th, Monday, March 5th to Friday, March 9th, then to the powerful march on the Saturday the 10th, will help people understand what's possible with collaboration. So do check us out on Facebook. You can visit PLOTT, Powerful Ladies of Trinidad and Tobago, and you can visit the International Women's Day Trinidad and Tobago website, Facebook page to see all of the activities, what's happening in your area, your neck of the woods, the groups that you could connect with. This is the time. Press for progress. The time is now.
Thank you so much, Ms.